All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here talking about real music in real time for a couple of real people out there just like you, just like me. All right, before I get going, check this out. Came out a number of years ago. I do not like the name of this band or this project. It's called Devil's Hand. All right, so again, not a huge fan of the name, but holy crap, Batman, you got Mike Slamer and Andrew Freeman together. And this is an amazing slab of progressive and melodic rock with some other things going on. It's really hard to describe, but go check this out. I think you'll be impressed with it if you want to hear a variety of sounds. Of course, Mike Slamer goes back to the band Streets and maybe even further than that. And Andrew Freeman currently in the band Last in Line, which another amazing band that I should be talking about more, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. But they are fantastic. You know what's really fantastic? This feud between Roger Waters and David Gilmour. It's fantastic because it's good material, and it's forcing people to look at things that they wouldn't normally look at because the media has brainwashed certain people to just have a take on everything. Like, hey, war in Ukraine, that's a good idea, man. I can't wait for more war in Ukraine. I can't wait to send like $8 billion to Ukraine. Hey, Janet Yellen, nice work. Anyway, Roger Waters is in the news, and David Gilmour is basically saying, you know, hey, Roger Waters is anti-Semitic, he's ridiculous, he's all of these things. He's hanging around with criminals. That's when I said this took kind of a dark turn, because they associated Waters with somebody who, yeah, they have a criminal record, but they were most likely framed by their own government. And of course, nobody's going to dig into that. Nobody's going to see, you know, more than one side of the media narrative. They're just not going to see it. Okay. So anyway, in the case of Pink Floyd as a band, they're tweeting out things like, hey, we're not associated with Roger Waters. That's not us. Nope. Even though he's playing some of the music that we recorded, like most of the music he's performing is likely Pink Floyd. Although Roger has a pretty decent amount of solo material that he can pull from. He really does. And I've made this point a few times. When I was a younger person, much, much younger, the media loved Roger Waters. They loved him. They loved what he stood for. And maybe this is what got me in trouble, because the rock media used to be kind of like rebellious. And I said this during the Thing-demic too. All of the rebels, other than Van Morrison and Eric Clapton and a handful of other people, all of the rebels just went away. Everybody just, yeah, man, I'm going to CVS like 11 times this year. It's going to be awesome, dude. I love just, you know, doing what the government tells me to do. And the health authorities, little quotations. You know what, folks? It's ridiculous. At least people, they're forced to look at this like, okay, war in Ukraine. You know, hey, how come we're sending $8 billion to Ukraine, but we have a $31 trillion national debt? You know. So anyway, I know people, they stop talking about politics. Stay in your lane, man. Waters' latest statements don't seem to have softened the air, meaning that Waters apparently did come out and say that David Gilmour's guitar solos were some of the best in rock history, and I agree 100%. Gilmour, Uncomfortably Numb, it's an emotional, it's almost an outer body experience. It's still my favorite guitar solo of all time. It just is. Anyway, you had to have that great song to create kind of like the atmosphere for that amazing guitar solo. So I'm thinking two guys, creative tension, they work together and they create even better music, you know. But Waters is out. They're tired of Waters and his anti-war crap. They're tired of him railing against this country or that country for human rights violations. Because who cares about human rights? Who cares about treaties and agreements, the Minsk agreement? Who cares? Nobody cares, right? Just give me the music, man. And so in the case of Pink Floyd, they were always kind of political. I mean, that was the essence of what they did. There were moments where they weren't overtly political, but even Gilmour was making statements on a momentary lapse of reason, momentary lapse of creativity. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a good album. It's not their best album, but it's okay. So anyway, Waters' latest statements don't seem to have softened the air between him and the remaining Pink Floyd members. Apparently, the band doesn't want to be associated with Waters and tries to distance their name from the bassist. Judging from their recent tweet, they made it clear by writing that the canceled shows belonged to Waters rather than Pink Floyd. By the way, is Pink Floyd planning a tour? Are they doing anything? The other guys, are they out on the road? No. Are they planning on doing? I haven't heard any. And I heard that Hey Hey Rise Up song was the last song. That's it for Pink Floyd. We're not recording any more music. Wow. Yeah, that's going out on a high note, huh? No wonder people are gravitating toward Roger Waters when it comes to the music, because Roger, unfortunately, is redoing Dark Side of the Moon, which I guess it'll be a conversation piece, if anything. We'll see. We'll see how good or bad it is. I'm thinking that some people are really going to hate it. And I think it's going to get extra hate because of who Roger Waters is, not because it deserves extra hate. But, you know, Roger's lockdown performances, if that's what you want to call them, they were pretty good. They were actually very interesting during the lockdown. Roger has a lot of gas in the tank. He's never been this Pavarotti vocalist, that's for sure. But vocally, he's very distinctive. And for his age, I think he sounds pretty good. I think he looks pretty good. He looks like an old guy, but he looks, you know, like a, I don't know, not ridiculous old guy. He's still got a lot of hair. Kind of jealous. Anyway, contrary to the reports in the Times today, Pink Floyd concerts have not been called off in Krakow, or is it Krakow, or in Frankfurt. These shows were by Roger Waters. They're clarifying. These shows were by Waters, not Pink Floyd. But Roger Waters, wasn't he in Pink Floyd? See, a lot of people, I'm sorry, Roger was too important to Pink Floyd. They're not going to not make the connection between Roger and Pink Floyd. They're not going to do that. It is known from Waters' previous statements that Gilmour has control over the band's social media accounts. So, considering the tweet posted by the band's account, it seems like Gilmour doesn't want Waters to be associated with Pink Floyd, although he was a prominent member who contributed significantly to the band's success. Yes, they really can't take that away from Roger Waters. That's why they hate this. And look, I think if you're stirring things up, you're going to get even more double-barreled Roger Waters coming at you. And I don't see this going away anytime soon. Yeah, I think more people are going to cancel Roger. But here's the deal. In today's culture, when you're getting canceled, what does that typically mean? That you're probably on to something. You're probably telling the truth if you're being canceled. And you can disagree with my analysis here, but why do they want less speech? Why not more speech? You're canceling the concert. You're accusing him of these things that, quite frankly, I don't see any evidence for. But because you don't support the global media narrative, when these people do not have anyone's best interests at heart, they only care about themselves. They only care about getting more rich and keeping the proletariat, keeping the peasant class down, pushing them down, and making them work harder for less money. I mean, that's really what this is all about. And this transcends political ideologies. This is just, it's reality. And so anyway, Roger is speaking truth to power. He's just by existing, Roger Waters is speaking truth to power. Roger Waters gave a very good speech at the Rage Against the War Machine rally, which the media, they weren't really interested in covering. And, you wouldn't have even heard about that if I didn't say it. Or a few other independent media outlets who were speaking of it. And by the way, it's people on the right, it's people on the left, it's people who don't really have a political ideology, but they've figured out that sending $8.8 billion to Ukraine, when there are all kinds of problems here in the United States that can be solved for far less money. You're sending $8.8 billion to prop up a corrupt, failing country. And this is probably even before the war started, that they were corrupt. And I don't know if their infrastructure was failing, but you know what, folks? It's not our problem. It's not our problem. They need to build up their own country. And this war thing could have been solved. It's called peace negotiations. Even Macron from France and Olaf Scholz from Germany are starting to talk about, maybe we have some peace talks so this stops, so the people in Germany can have some clean, cheap energy. Of course, you got to build another gas pipeline. Wonder how that got blown up. Anyone? I don't know. It just randomly happened. You know what I'm thinking? Russia blew up their own pipeline. That's what I heard in the media. So, like every other narrative, that's what I believe. Anyway, here's Devil's Hand. Don't like the name of the band, but anyway, Mike Slamer, Andrew Freeman. This is some really good music. If you like any kind of rock, I'm thinking this is really going to appeal to you. These two guys are both legends, even though they're not super well-known legends. Mike Slamer, genius. Andrew Freeman, one of the great vocalists of this rock era. I think he was in The Offspring too, if I remember. I could be wrong. They weren't a band on my radar, so I might be wrong. I've been wrong a lot. People tell me all the time, you're wrong about this, you're wrong about that. All right, well, anyway, folks, thanks for watching the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. You can smash that bell if you want notifications on new videos. Just smash the bell. And Patreon, got some new patrons, and they're all really nice people. Of course, we do have to look out for the trolling class, because they'll pay the buck, they'll pretend to be there, and they'll start stirring the pot, and then you'll realize, that your nice little community has been corrupted. But yeah, Patreon, and then YouTube memberships. $2.99 for YouTube membership, and get a little emoticon of your face on the page that you're a supporter. And then you can be targeted just like me, right? Oh, you're supporting that guy? Oh, what a loser you are. Anyway, folks, had a weird day yesterday, and I'm still kind of processing that, but we just continue on, and we hope for the best, and we do what we can. Thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you very soon.